Hey everyone, I am trying to fix up the set. This is a little, can you see that? I just put that by my side just to, I change it up every once in a while. Here we got my beautiful princess. You can't see too well because there's stuff in there blocking her. And we did a test. We got the Chromebook from the height of this chair where I am sitting from. You can see how tall I am, and when I sit down, whatever, I don't know. We'll find out if it works or not in a second. And the reason why I want to do this test, I actually should have written some notes down before I started doing this. I'm probably gonna have to do several cuts because I'm gonna have to go back into the iPhone because the iPhone is the only source I have to record. Yeah, iPhone works. iPhone is the only source that I have to record, and it's also the only source that I have to where I have my information, except for Chromebook, and I don't really keep a lot of stuff on my Chromebook. And also Chromebooks, it belongs to Papa Alex, to the king. So essentially it's not mine. Oh, and I forgot my coffee. Let's take a little trip to the kitchen, which
Cuidado, casi rompes esa puerta, hombre.
casi la rompo.
Cuando la cerró muy duro.
Oh, perdón. Oh, okay. I mopped this and tried to didn't get too well. I tried to, that's what I have to use to sweep. So that's why you get it. And also Mom had, our cousin Daniela and me both cleaning this kitchen, but she had Daniela mostly like moving things around, which makes no sense at all. If something is working, why fix it? For instance, now these knives are here, and there's one knife that is missing, and it was not missing a few days ago. And not only that, but I found that one of the knives like back here. I swear I did. I can't tell. But anyways, since I couldn't find that knife, that was one of the mornings when I was cutting the princess, her strawberries, and because I had to use another knife that I was not used to using to use those knives, I cut my finger. So Laura, me and you are part of the club. Actually, no, Laura cut her finger when she was washing the dishes, so it's a little different club. But nonetheless, anyways, so cafe, drip style coffee from this Keurig machine, courtesy of Alexandra. The other day, Papa Alex and I were wondering just how old the machine is. It was like 2 years. We're like, that's it, 2 years? It should be more. But maybe it's like 3 or 4. I don't know. Time flies. And that is a fact. I mean, just look at it. Just yesterday, I was yesterday. How old was I yesterday? See, that's what happens when you lie. Just yesterday, my daughter was born, and I was 50 years old. when she was born. Well, actually, I was 51. I had just turned 51 7 days before. And then now I'm 61 and she's 11. So that goes to show you how time flies. So I wanted to make this video because I did say I would make a video about internet donations versus IRL donations, and it made me think a lot about what constitutes internet donations. For the most part, it's not anything good. It could be anything from CP or that what is that called? My friends or something, or OnlyFans, which you're literally just selling your ultimate, I spilled some of the coffee, your ultimate privacy for people who don't know you but have some odd fetishes. So that is pretty much the basis of internet, in my opinion, internet donations. There's no such thing as internet donations for, for people who are kind-hearted. And there's actually been some internet donations for very weird, twisted, sick individuals. Like if you watch a lot of YouTube, you see about YouTubers who are on like these streaming platforms, and then they get these donations. One guy got 10 grand to put his pregnant wife. Let me get a piece of paper so I can write down as I pause this, so I can write down how much I made IRL versus internet donations, which I could just tell you right now, internet donations is zero, unless you count my close friends whom I ask for help once in a while. They have helped me, but besides friends, it is nil, as the English like to say. Oh, I keep hitting this thing. So it's nil for ID and the donations, and it is about, if I remember correctly, I did one day. There was most people were home except for a few. And maybe some that they just didn't want to answer. And then the next day I went back to the couple houses that weren't home, and they did finally answer. And within like 10 minutes, I made like $15, which was amazing. And all I did was just tell the truth. I told him, like, hey, look, man, I'm not doing good right now. Financially, I'm in between jobs. I have an 11-year-old daughter. I suffer from, what used to be called manic disorder, but now it's called, now it is called, what is it called now? Bipolar disorder. I guess, with psychology, the terminology changes about every 5 years or so. I guess it's just people make new thesis, and then when they make the new thesis, the people that are in like the field, in the field of psychology that has to do with study, they're so impressed by it, and they're, oh wow, this is the future of it. This is definitely something that's gonna be groundbreaking. And then that's when they say, okay, this is it. This is what's gonna be. But anyways, enough about that. Let me pause this so I can get the actual numbers for the first ID versus IRL, and then the second ID versus IRL. And now these are in no way, shape, or forms any IDs that include Twitch or include like that OnlyFans, or include things like CP, or include things like those Twitch things where people like will pay to like watch people do horrible things or prank things. Anyways, let's go back. Let's look at the numbers. Now, Mariah is loved spiritually, definitely, but unfortunately, in the world that we live in, especially amongst peers, there's a lot of hype around the latest and the trendiest, meaning like whether it's fashion, technology, or just whatever's in style. And the problem is that sometimes I would like to provide my daughter with that, but I can't. And I've learned to accept that because I know that that's not what matters. But she might not. So that's where it creates a problem. And that's where I go on to the next thing that I have to say. Now I've put this up in a bunch of videos. The first duty of love is to listen. Simple enough. Anybody can understand this. And if you actually put it to action, it will benefit you very, very greatly. I cannot say any more upon that. But the reason why I wanted to put it in this part here is because when I say the first duty of love is to listen, I would like you to please listen for the reasons that I am asking for donations when I do ask for them. Now, yes, I have said that mental health comes number one because it is said that you must care for yourself before you care for others. And I have noticed that through taking better care of myself, especially through my psychiatrist, even though there's still a couple things kinks that need to be worked out that can make it even better, but I noticed that a lot of things have changed for the best, and I feel very confident about the future to come, which is something that I could not say about before. So, getting back to what I said, listen, but try to listen with all your heart and try to think, what is this gentleman on the other side of this screen, what is it exactly that they are asking me to donate for? And just think about that. If you'd like to, unfortunately I can't do live chats until I got 1,000 subscribers, so that would be very helpful. I will be able to do live chats, and I think I can also have convos with other community members at the same time. So that would be amazing at the same time. But for the meantime, the comment sections are always there. I sometimes have a laziness of going into my email and getting to all my comments, and sometimes some comments don't go through for some reason. I don't know exactly what it is, but I do try to get to the majority of them. So thank you so much, and please continue the rest of the video. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm back. I hope you can see me in my little setup. Time is relative. That was part of what is it? Special study of relativity back in like 1915 or 1911. I don't remember. Back then, they saw light used to travel through something called ether or something like that. Before that, they saw the sun burn from coal. It was funny, but it's interesting though. Science, like scientific history, is interesting in general. You know, it's just very interesting to learn like how we got to where we got, and also to understand that a lot of achievements, like even though like Albert Einstein is considered like the brainiest of them all, there was a lot more before him. I mean, you got Isaac Newton, you got Leonardo da Vinci, you got Galileo Galilei, you got a whole bunch of other guys. Galileo Galilei didn't even invent the telescope. He just made it better. But a lot of people that contributed to science, and it wasn't just a lot of Germans actually. Germans are Germans. They're different species of their own. I could understand kind of like eugenics a little bit when it comes to Germans, because they're like especially like when was it, when the goalkeeper for what MSN were the forwards. What was his name? He was the second best goalkeeper practically in the world, and the best goalkeeper was German. Anyways, so it was on the 5th, which I believe was Monday, the day before my telehealth appointment. And the reason was telehealth this month was because the people that usually work the front desk, they had to attend to something personal, so they were doing it telehealth on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we were coming in to pick up our scripts and pay for the payment. So on Monday I decided to try to get up a little bit of money, because I hadn't been able to pay my mom back completely for everything I owe her. And heaven knows how much I owe her. I mean, I need to start applying for jobs again, like seriously, like how I was before. Before I was like nonstop, but now the problem is that I gotta do it nonstop, but I gotta do it like within like at least like a 15-mile radius. You know, so it's not too much for the person who's been wanting to give me a ride, because the other jobs that we're calling, we're talking about like 29-mile radius. So what is that, like 60 miles round trip, whatever. But so on the 15th in IRL, I went from door to door. I pretty much explained my situation. I said, I'm in between jobs, I'm applying. I showed them, different, like on my phone, all the different like things where I was denied, where I was invited for a job, but I wasn't able to take it because of how far it was and my transportation wasn't available. And finally, how I got invited to a thing. A lot of people were, they were understanding of it. They were saying, yeah, I know exactly what's going on, and I know what's going on with you. So they were very helpful. Within 90 minutes, I made $50+ I don't remember the exact amount. I just remember like $50-something within 90 minutes. And now, when you come to think about it, the minimum wage in South Florida, in Broward County, is $12 an hour. So it's kind of like, it's a joke. It's kind of like, it's ridiculous. And you know something else, el otro día mi prima, porque ella está nueva a este país, yo le dije que, le dije felicidades por su carro, porque le acaban de regalar un carro. Y yo le empecé a comentar como las cuestiones, como a mí no me gustan tanto los carros ahora. A mí me gustan los carros clásicos que están en buen estado. Esos son los carros con personalidades, porque ya no lo hacen como hacían antes. Pero, y también estos carros son carros como para, tú sabes, es como para, tú no tienes que estar de ningún afán. Tú puedes estar andando bien lento y no tienes que estar de ningún afán para ningún lugar. Porque estos son carros que son hechos para tu confort, tú sabes, para mantenerte bien, porque la mayoría de estos carros son grandes y los buenos son de cuero, lo de lujo y todo eso. Ok, bueno, entonces creo que fue el lunes 5 de noviembre de diciembre de este año 2023. En la vida real, hablando con gente, en vez de hablando directamente a una cámara como estoy haciendo ahora mismo con ustedes, en 90 minutos hice más de $50, ok, en 90 minutos. Ahora también en el video puse I also put what I was trying to say is on the 5th of December of this year, which was Monday, 2023, in IRL, I made approximately $50 in 90 minutes, so that's approximately, if you were working minimum wage, that is approximately about 4 hours of wages. 4 times 12 is 48. Yeah, so it's approximately 4 hours of wage. Let's just say 4 hours of wages, because it was $50 and change. So it was like 4 hours and change of wages. So you got about 4 hours and maybe 15 minutes of wages. And I did that in about 90 minutes, which is obviously 4 hours of change, which is approximately what? 60 and 60 is 120. 120 is 240. 240 plus approximately another 20 minutes, about 260 minutes. 90 minutes worth of IRL, speaking to people, telling them the truth about where I'm at in my position in life, constituted to me making over $50 in from donations, as opposed to all of the time and all the effort, all the videos I made where I put the links to my PayPal me, to my cash handle, which I received nothing except from close friends of mine, which I've asked, and they have been more than generous in doing so, and I'm very grateful, especially for the one who I just did a video for the other day, because he is one of the most decent persons that I've ever met in my life, to be truthfully honest. Jesus, you are one of a kind. You are a very unique individual, and I think you're just a very special person. And I'm not just saying that to blow steam up your ass. I'm saying that because when you talk to people, you actually talk to them. You listen to them. You try to establish conversations. You try to establish, like what's going on. Get to know them. Some people find that weird because nowadays people, it's like having a convo with somebody. It's almost like it's like something that's like unheard of because we're not used to it. We're just used to just like like especially me on the phone. I don't like being on the phone unless it's yes, okay, what do you need? You need it, okay, all right, okay, bye. That's it, But him on the other hand, another reason why is because I don't like being on the phone. I spent 15 years of my life working as a clerical position as a receptionist. Believe me, being on the phone is no fun after a while. All right, and then internet donations obviously was 0, just like always. And then also, a few days later, which was actually yesterday, no, I lied to you. It was actually the 8th. The 8th. Yeah, on the 8th. Alright, I decided to go, because I owed my mom some money, and I also wanted to get money for a couple other things, especially because of I have a tradition with the princess. Every Saturday, I like to, get her favorite meal, which is usually, as of now, is Chick-fil-A. We'll see how that changes. But I just like to have her, something so that when she gets older, she has something to think about, that maybe will bring a sense of nostalgia, just little things in life, that, that'll make you feel like, like, wow, what it was like to be young. I love my daughter to death. Sometimes I might bother her too much. Last night was the best night of our lives. She was the best night of my life. She got scared and she wanted me to sleep with her in bed. And I normally tend not to do that because, that's mommy, mommy and her do that for, whatever. And I told her, I'm like, all right, well, I gotta do a couple things and then I'll be in a little bit later. And I went in and, she's just she's the most gentlest soul. I mean, mom has a different perception of her, but also mom also has a different, like, a different type of personality. So, you know how they say what you put out into the universe is what you get in? Perhaps that could be the case, because when I put out to the universe for my princess, I make sure that she's my princess. I mean, sometimes I might play around with her, whatever, but for the most part, I always check on her, every so often. I might even just go in and just look at her and just stare at her, like she's going like WTF. And after a while, you just be like, you okay? You know, just, I don't know, anything, something silly. You know, just to make sure that, you know, that she's not being neglected. You know, that we're here for her, and that, you know, she has people around her that love her. I tell her that I love her, even though I kind of like, I don't like saying I love you because I prefer to show it. But with my princess, I almost feel obligated to tell her that. But nonetheless, on the 8th, I went back out. In this case, I decided to do the houses that I did not answer the last time. So a couple again didn't answer, but lucky enough, a couple of them did answer, and it didn't take too long whatsoever. It was only like two houses that answered. So in about 15 minutes, yeah, or about like 20 minutes, let's just say, I made $16, and I just walked back home. So in about 20 minutes, if I made $16, 20, 40, 60, 16, 32, I think it's 48. That means that I made about $48 in 1 hour. Okay? Now to put that in perspective, imagine if the minimum wage in this country was $48 an hour. Now that would be a livable living wage, okay? Because we might just be able to afford housing. We might be able to afford health care, which we know is ridiculous. Without health insurance, you are completely fucked, okay? I'm just practically waiting till the day that I die, which I feel bad for my princess, but inevitably it's gonna happen. But living here in this country, you know, number one source of death here in this country, believe it or not, is dying by vehicle accidents. Y esto es lo que quería decir sobre mi sobrina. Saludos, Daniela. Cuando yo le dije, lo que tú tienes allá afuera es una caja de metal con 4 ruedas, que la infraestructura que se requiere para eso hace que la temperatura se alce, sea más alta, la gente no puede caminar para ningún lado, todos tienen que estar en sus carros de metal y no nadie puede caminar. ¿Tú sabes lo que me respondió mi prima? Ay, pero a mí me gusta ser gorda. Yo casi tenía ganas de decirle, sí, ya se ve. Lo siento, Daniela. Ya yo sé que tú sabes que yo soy un idiota. O me imagino que tú crees así de mí. Pero en realidad ya se ha notado que tú has... Bueno, ya. Vamos a darlo así. Y si tú crees que yo soy atractivo a mujeres que son gordas, la mujer con la que yo estuve, que fui la mayor mujer en edad en toda mi vida, es la mujer con la que estoy ahora. Y la única razón por la que estoy ahora con ella es porque tenemos una nena juntos. Y yo soy un yo creo que un hijo, hija, tiene que tener ambos padres. Eso es algo en que yo siempre, cada vez que yo tuve sexo, yo siempre pensaba que lo que podía haber pasado es que podíamos haber tenido un hijo y de ahí en adelante yo me iba a quedar con esa persona por el resto de mi vida, porque esa era mi ideología, porque yo no pensaba que los niños no deben crecer sin los padres, ambos los padres, para nada. Eso es algo en lo que yo creo. Ok, bueno, entonces ya saben, now you guys know, IRL donations versus, let's just call it YouTube donations, because it's not really internet donations, because there are other types of internet donations, but I'm not going to get into those. I'm not willing to participate into those. Some of those are actually have had consequences of like death. Have had consequences of people going to jail. They're just not. They're not. It's not my type of thing. Okay, I'm not the best Christian in the world, and I'm also been considering Islam, but I don't believe in any of that stuff or that other stuff. I only do YouTube, like I said, because my sister recommended it to me, and I think for the most part the YouTube community, they have done guidelines which have made it so that you know, it's pretty much a community where you know, it's like a PG, maybe PG-13 community at the most. And well, actually PG-13, because you have a lot of true crime stuff. And when I watch enough of that stuff, I start thinking to myself, I'm like, holy SHIT, and a lot of really other cool stuff. Like my favorite stuff is just educational stuff. One of my favorite YouTubers in the beginning was Michael Stevens. I remember him from was it College Humor, or was it when he did and when he used to do comedy. Michael Stevens, you're the man. I remember when you did that video with the guy from Veritasium, when Veritasium I think was still in Australia. But the thing with YouTubers, if you want to make it big as a YouTuber, you gotta move to New York. Like, the exception is Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, you're a beast. And subscribe to Mr. Beast. Subscribe to my channel, please. And may peace and love be with you on this day today. Thank you very much. Ciao. Hey everyone. Yeah. Home sweet home. This here normally goes over here on the coffee table, which is on home sweet home too. Right there, that's the most beautiful woman in the world. Maybe besides her, I'm not sure. That's the second most beautiful woman in the world. Well, maybe a tie between her and her cousin, but they're both beautiful. And this is what I wanted to show you, which I was not able to, because while I did the set, I was not able to properly see what was shown and what was not being shown. So let me go ahead and, alright, the first thing obviously is discipline. That's the first thing I put on there. That's why there's no like blue tape. Next thing I put on there was think, listen, breathe, in, out, slowly. Kind of hard to read. And then the last thing I put on here, I just put this one recently. Time is relative. Okay. Hey, honey. Just in case you may have seen this and you saw the part where I talked about listening and whatever, I just wanted to say that the only reason why I said that was just because so that maybe the very few people that watch these videos and might need a reason to listen to why I ask for donations, they might understand why. I'm sorry if I brought you into this and embarrassed you. I really do. But the reason why I said that is because, unfortunately, because of the situation that I'm in, there's going to be a lot of things that I'm not going to be able to provide for you, honey. And for instance, I'll give you an example. Kids go through a time where there are new, there's new customs, there's new maybe video games, there's new things to do, once you get to a certain age, you start driving cars, you may start dressing different, wearing designer clothes, and start wearing jewelry, and all that stuff costs money. Unfortunately, not everybody has money to do that. Not everybody's dealt the cards in life. And unfortunately, sometimes those people will be bullied. But no matter what, I have something right here that is stronger than any type of bullying. It is called the Word. This part of the Word is called Psalm 23, a Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for His name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And just in case you ever forget, always remember, love is. I love you, baby.